Yo, haha, Bill Nicholson. What is good, YouTube? Your boy Bill Nicholson coming back with another quick video, man. Today we're going to take a look at the Torras Coolify, at least the Coolify 2S, as well as the Coolify Cyber. I do want to show you guys some detailed descriptions and kind of things that you should be looking at, the do's and don'ts. Things that you actually can do, because as a person that kind of works outside a lot, especially in the heat, this is definitely something that's beneficial to you, despite what some people may think, because of the actual airflow. I'm going to show you how to work around that. We're going to get into details. Actually, let's get straight into it. When you get your Torras, whether you decide to get the Coolify 2S as well as the Cyber, I know, some people are kind of contemplating, which one would be the better version for them. I think it comes down to, what do you want out of an actual air conditioning neck unit? Do you want to just, provide heating and cooling for both the sides of your neck, or would you prefer heating, cooling on not just the sides, but the actual back of your neck, which I think is definitely very, very important when it comes to doing your daily functions, whether you're outside or inside. Remember, your neck plays a vital portion for your body temperature. So you want to make sure that you are providing the best and most comfortable temperature, depending on the environment or surroundings where you are. So that's where I feel like the Torras Cyber is actually going to be a little bit more beneficial to you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you're going to be able to not only just have those cooling zones. Basically, there are three different, I want to say, temperature settings, where you have a cooling setting, you have a fan setting, and you have a heat setting. And because of that, you have three different zones. First, the actual Coolify 2S, where you only have two. Where this takes, and I want to say dominance, is probably one of the best ones on the market, where this excels where the Coolify 2S doesn't, is the fact that when you look at the component itself, and you're going to notice, and I'll show you a picture right here, that these zones are located not just on the sides, but as well as the back. You're able to interchange using the Coolify, or at least the Torras app, against the actual device once you Bluetooth or connect to it. And you can basically interchange heat and cooling, or you can just kind of have a different type of array of combinations that you can utilize against the actual device. So check this out. What that means is, if I want these two zones to only do heat while this zone does cooling, I can interchange that. I cannot do that, unfortunately, with the Coolify 2S device. However, I do have the options of interchanging between cooling, the fan, as well as the heat option. Now, let's get familiar real quick with the actual buttons on the Coolify Cyber, because I feel like this device was implemented to perfection, and it's definitely going to help you on your day-to-day. Starting with the actual hard buttons that you see right here. I have a picture right here, but you can see that there's a power button, and then there's a mode button. The mode button is what you're going to utilize to interchange between cooling, heating, and the fan itself. And the power button obviously is to turn on. What you can do, though, if you hold down, kind of tap down a power button, this will actually turn the unit on. You can see right here, but there's a display on both sides. You can see the LCD display. You do not see this on the actual Coolify S2 in terms of the detail, because you can see right here that it'll actually tell you whether it's connected to the app or not. A Bluetooth signal will be on this side, and then this side will tell you what mode you're actually on. So this looks to be the cooling mode, and if I actually tap down the mode, it should switch to the fan mode. And if you hold down the actual mode button, this is what changes it to the heat. I felt like when I had a chance to do this with the Coolify 2S, it's kind of the same settings with the same hardware. I thought it was phenomenal. And then also keep in mind that while this device is on, if you hit the power button, you'll be able to actually change the type of temperature that's being, I want to say, worked against the actual neck. So for instance, if you want anywhere from 30 to 60 to 100, which is kind of the gauge of the power that's being utilized towards your neck of the heat, kind of basically just increasing the temperature. You could do that, but it will eat up your battery. If I'm not mistaken, this is a 6,000 milliamp lithium battery that's inside this device, and it can give you, when, let's just say you have the air conditioning unit. The air conditioning unit on this is going to utilize most of your power when it's used at its max speed. So therefore, you may get 1 or 2 hours out of this device in terms of usage. But at the same time, you can use an external device, an external battery, because it has power pass-through, where it can basically take the power from an external battery into the actual unit. And this is a class, if I'm not mistaken, it's a class C USB connection, which you can see right here. And I'm going to say that to say this. The cord that this device comes with is a class C USB. But here's the thing. It's a class C USB on both sides. So the difference between last year's model, at least I want to say 2 years before that, is that it came with like this 90-degree USB connection, which was designed to kind of connect to the actual device so that when you're wearing it, it doesn't feel, there's no discomfort. It just sits on your neck, and you can see that it's angled either way to connect to an external battery while you're wearing it. So basically, you'll have the ability to have extra power to use against this device while you're doing your day-to-day, whether it be heat, air conditioning, or the fan unit. The problem is when you look on the other side of this connection, it's a class A USB, and that's fine, right? But on this, which is the Cyber, this does not come with this. It comes with this cord, which is class C USB on both sides. Why I'm saying that and why I'm bringing this up is because you're going to need an actual power adapter to charge this. The power adapter does not come with the Coolify 2S, and it doesn't come with the actual Torras Cyber. So you're going to have to go out and buy something like this. And the reason why I'm going to recommend, so if you have, let's just say if you have an iPhone charger, and you know iPhones have that 20-watt fast charging capability on their phones, well, that's the same thing that the Cyber Coolify, at least the technology, has. So if you do have an iPhone, for example, if you have an Apple 20-watt fast charging adapter that has that class C capability, you can use that against this device, and then you'll be able to experience that fast charging ability, where it says that it, I think, goes to a certain percentage. I'll have the stats right here, but it can charge quickly within, I think, 1.2 hours. So it's supposed to be able to, like, if you're on 1%, 2%, it'll take 1.2 hours to charge at a certain percentage using something like this. But make sure you're getting, when you're looking for an adapter to buy to work with this in terms of charging it, 20-watt fast charging adapter class C, not class A. Don't make that mistake. One of the things that also you want to take in consideration is when you're buying up like an adapter, like a battery that'll help prolong the life of the lithium battery for this device, make sure that you're looking between the differences between the actual connections, because these battery devices have a input and they have output power. Input power meaning the connections that support the input is basically drawing the electricity from the actual outlet when you plug against this battery. Output is meaning you're going to output that charge that from the lithium battery of this external battery to this device. So you want to make sure you get this right, because if you, let's say for instance, you're looking at this has a combination of type A and type C USB. And if I made the mistake of plugging type C into the input of this device and then connecting it to this actual neck air conditioner, what's going to happen is it's not going to charge this station. It's going to pull the power from here and then charge the lithium battery here, which will drain your battery. So you don't want to do it in reverse. You want to make sure output class C to here from the external battery. So make sure you look into that. I don't want anybody to get caught off guard. Ideally, you could also use a Class A, provided that you have, like as I was saying, if you have the original cord, or if you have a cord that is similar to this, where it's Class A. So this way, if, for instance, if you had an external battery that only had a output of Class A USB, you could use this type of a connection versus the connection that this comes with. If that makes sense. So, of course, I have the video right here. So if you were following what I was doing, I was kind of demonstrating what happens when you do it the right way versus what happens when you do it the wrong way. The one thing I will say about this device, it also has quite a few different types of features, and you'll see this where you have the heat vents on both sides, and basically these vents are designed to prevent this device as a whole from overheating. This, if I'm not mistaken, these are your intake vents right here, where it's taking in the air before it's pushing it out for the external vents, both on the back and the rear. And like I said, by design, I felt like this was done to perfection. I felt like on the app itself, I'm going to show you a demo of the app, where you can actually cycle through those modes that I was speaking of before, and it's very easy to use. The one thing that this device has, this air conditioning neck unit has, the Cyber versus the actual S2, is I love this feature, which is auto. This, in my opinion, is probably the best feature on this air conditioning neck app, primarily because when you use this against your neck, what's happening is that if you set this app to auto, it's automatically going to kind of detect your body temperature. So it'll give you the best setting possible to keep your body comfortable. So if it's hot outside, boom, it might decide, you know what, let's just use some fan at a battery, at a power percentage, so that we're also not only keeping you comfortable, it's also prolonging the battery life. So normally if you do it manually like you would do it with this, it could drain the battery faster. This one is adapting as you go. So even if you go into a cold environment, this will actually switch to heat and adapt to your body temperature. I felt like that right there alone is phenomenal. It's a good feature, and unfortunately it's not available with here. With both of these, you do have the ability to kind of put it on a timer. So if you decided to go in cool mode and you wanted to use the timer against the actual device using the app, it'll automatically shut off at a specific time that you preset it to. Both this device and this device. But this device, the fact that you're able to manipulate the actual zones working against you, so you can have a spectacular feeling, I feel like that alone is definitely going to be beneficial. Now, going to the final stages of this video, I want to show you why you have a benefit of using this outside, even when it's hot. I did a video not too long ago showing you how to pretty much control your body temperature using the different resources for the winter. I'm going to show you why you can actually use this for the summer, because again, it gives you those 3 modes that you can use. But let's just say you're outside, it's 90 degrees. Most people have that tendency to just go out with a t-shirt, sunglasses, and a cap, and you think everything is good. For some people, that could be good. For some people, that's not as good. And to work around that, you do have shirts like these, and you can find this on Amazon or any online product, because these are shirts that are designed to withstand the heat rays that are existing outside. So if it's able to block the sunlight, or at least the sun rays that's working against your skin to keep you cool, what do you think it's going to do when you put this on your neck? So, and I know some people are thinking, well, okay, that's a t-shirt, right? That means that the motor, the lithium battery, is going to be exposed on the device, so it's not going to be able to work as good because the sunlight is still directly connected to this, even when this puts on your neck. But at the same time, what I like to do as a little hack that kind of works. If I'm outside and I'm cutting the grass, I'm doing landscaping, things like that, what I tend to do is to put this on my neck, and there's a reason why that I also wear my hoodie, because my hoodie on this, for example, for this shirt, is protecting against the neck, against the sun rays, so that my neck is not exposed. It's also protecting my head, so that my head is not kind of exposed. So what happens is, if I put this around my neck and I tuck this in my hoodie, you kind of see where I'm going. And I put this up, minus the chain. I put this up, and now all of a sudden, the unit itself is protected against the sun rays, and I can still have that cooling effect underneath the actual hoodie. I know it's working because I actually went out and I think we had like a heat wave not too long ago where it was a series of days, 92, 95 degrees, humidity is real high, things of that nature. But I was still operating just fine. I had my sunglasses on. I had it exactly this way, this exact setup. And one of the things that was happening, just to test, although you don't feel the as cool as you would normally feel when you're indoors, because you don't feel that cold air blasting away, you still feel that cold factor around your neck. When you reach into the actual device, like you reach towards your neck, you'll feel, even outside with this on, the motor is not going to be working as hard as it would if it was exposed to the sun, if that makes sense. So that's a little cheat sheet that, some people may or may not know. That's my cheat sheet. And I could be outside 95, 96. People are walking around. They're hot as heck. And I'm cooled down because the fact that I'm wearing clothes that can work against the sun rays. Got the sunglasses on as well as the Coolify unit around my neck to keep me cool so I can work as long as I want outside, as long as I stay hydrated in terms of that nature. But outside of that, man, I just want to show you guys, listen, this is an underrated pickup. If you can get this, it'll take you a long way, whether it's in the winter, summertime. I felt like this is kind of like the Ferrari, if you will, for neck air conditioning units. But the Torras Cyber on the Miltnificent channel, comment below, let me know what you think about this. It does feature these silicone bands that you see on the actual device, so that's why it has that flexibility to wrap around your neck, and it feels very, very comfortable. I thought, looking at the device, kind of at first glance, putting it around my neck before I even had a chance, I felt like it wasn't going to be as comfortable as the Coolify 2S by design, because that silicone is kind of working towards the backside, whereas this, they move the silicone towards the side. So you actually have more freedom with the actual Cyber versus the actual 2S. Your boy Miltnificent, man, I am out. Torras, at least the Cyber. And this air conditioning unit is a game changer. I promise you, you will not be disappointed when you get a chance to wear this. And hopefully that was kind of beneficial to you guys. Learn a little something from your boy Miltnificent. I am out for now. And you guys, stay blessed.